Hello there. Welcome back to Tales from Tashi Station. Guys, told you I have a guest this week, and it's friend of the channel, Ashton Sharrett. How you doing, buddy?
Hello there. Doing good. Good to be here. It's always a pleasure to visit Tashi Station. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime, man. You're one of my favorite people I have on pretty regularly, and today we're going to talk about a theory that I messaged you about, and how Dedra Merro's one obsession with Luthen is the entire reason that the Empire falls. So, what do you say we get into it?
Yeah, let's dig in.
All right. Hey, Chewie, do me a favor. Punch this thing. Let's get into it. All right. Ashton, let's get to talking, man. So,
Yeah.
the thing that I wanted to bring you in on today was a theory I hit you up with, and how they made a through line from Luthen all the way to Luke. And the thing that I said was Dedra Mero's obsession with Luthen is the entire reason the Empire falls. She gets so obsessed to where she gets sloppy, makes a mistake. Lonnie gets her codes, and well, the rest is history.
Mhm.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but do we know concretely how Lonnie gets his hands on Deidre's code access? I don't think that's ever fully stated in the show.
Um, I'm not sure, but I think it has to do with Lonnie and I forget.
Heart or yeah, I think it's Supervisor Heat or Heart. I'm not really. It's
The
his.
younger one, right?
Yeah. His name's spelled Hee. I've got it right here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Heert.
Yeah.
Heart. So the theory is that that's how Lonnie got the codes. But um one line that is said early on in the where is it? That's said early on in the series, or early on in the second season, is catch catch them first, then make them famous.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yes.
that's a line that rang with me throughout the season, up until we get to the point where we find out that Daedra screwed up and Lonnie had got access to her codes. And that obsession that she has with Luthen, trying to find him, in my opinion, is the entire reason the Empire falls. If she doesn't have that singular obsessive focus to find him, she doesn't make the mistake that Lonnie can capitalize on to get her codes.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, the Death Star gets built, and no one's the wiser.
Right. And it's kind of crazy because I've been ever since you brought this up. Um, I've been thinking about it a lot, taking a lot of notes. And the thing that was, I was kind of thinking about how, because Partagaz says that to her and like kind of like sanctions that lone wolf approach that, that ends up, screwing everything over. It's kind of interesting because like it's kind of like that's the entire ISB culture. It's like this like
Hmm.
step all over everyone because you're climbing and like the
It's
careerism and the
it's
tunnel
very
vision.
cutthroat. Yeah.
Yes, and like and they really drew that picture really well, even more in season 2. And yeah, so it's just kind of interesting that it's like the the ISB culture kind of like created that,
Hmm. Yeah.
just yeah, it's just kind of yeah, I don't know, eye opening.
Yeah. And the one thing that I always, the thing that that didn't make sense to me is Luthen killing Lonnie after Lonnie tells him like everything about the Death Star plans. And because I was really hoping that Lonnie was gonna play a bigger part going into Yavin 4 and like them finding more out about the plans because he's the initial one that found it out. But I mean, Luthen isn't one to let loose ends hang, and he realized if Lonnie gets caught, everything's done. So he had to make the choice to kill him, and I just the the idea to have Luthen find out the codes, like find out the plans, and then just everything starts moving slow. It inches towards the start of Rogue One, and I remember my wife and I at after we watched that episode. I looked at her. I'm like, we're watching Rogue One tomorrow night.
Yeah,
We have to,
for sure.
and it's like if you watch it with that in mind, then the first scene that we see Andor in Rogue One makes so much more sense.
Hmm.
And I think you put this out on Instagram or the what's the Instagram Twitter the threads.
Oh, threads. Yeah.
Yeah, you put this out, or I don't know if it was you or if it was someone put out that basically like after watching that last episode those last 3 episodes, and then watching Rogue One and Episode 4, there's a different tension in the air because of the through line that they made from Luthen all the way to Luke.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was on Instagram. Actually, that was
Yeah,
like one of my initial like reaction posts that I did.
yeah.
And
I couldn't remember if it was you or somebody else. Honestly,
yeah, no, like it makes A New Hope like the actual finale of this entire arc, in my opinion. Like just like watching A New Hope, I finally felt the release of tension from like all of the story arc like tension points throughout Andor and Rogue One, and like finally seeing everything like come to fruition and like finally getting like like they made it, it just elevated A New Hope, which is so sick. Like the very first
you,
Star Wars film to elevate that is like
yeah.
you've done something special.
And also something I noticed when I rewatched that the last episode where we see Dedra. Did you notice what jumpsuit she had on? Did you notice where she was?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's I think someone confirmed it's not Narkina 5, but
It's
it's
not,
obviously one of those, Narkina something, or
and
one of those facilities.
I think that I think that layers it. I think that covers up a plot hole as to how did they build the second Death Star so quickly. It's because they already had a contingency plan going on
Hmm.
and had people building pieces for a second Death Star if and when the first one got destroyed. So
Right.
it's just the amount of layering that Tony Gilroy puts into the second season of Andor is absolutely insane. Because I remember watching the first arc after um after Andor leaves Yavin 4, and you see the temples as he's leaving. You're like, oh, he was on Yavin this whole time, and this was. And then, remember, this is a few years before they actually set up camp on Yavin 4. So it's just I'm probably gonna go back and rewatch all of Andor just because I've said this, it's the best Star Wars we've gotten
Yeah.
out of Disney in my opinion. So
Yeah. I think it's number one for me. It's just the music, the tension, like it's just yeah, it's just so good. Um, I kind of have like an interesting question. So,
mhm.
like, do you think like for this thesis of Dedra is the reason that the empire falls essentially? Do you
Mhm.
think it's more that, or do you think the empire fell? Do you think the empire falls because it creates Dedras? You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that. That's a good point. I think it's the second one because they create they create these individuals in either in ISB or what have you that are so obsessively focused on climbing the ladder, as you said, and just being as cutthroat as possible, going through your own coworkers and and people that you know to get to the top because it's the ISB. It's essentially, I think, in my opinion, it's essentially the Star Wars version of the SS.
Hmm.
That's what the ISB is.
Hmm.
It's the Star Wars SS basically. And yeah, I think it's both actually. They they fall the Empire falls because they create individuals like Dedra who then just get careless and sloppy because they're just focused on this one thing they're trying to go
Right.
after. In this case, it was essentially a domestic terrorist, and she got so sloppy that the guy that he had on the inside just picked her pocket and well got the plans. So
Right. And what's crazy is that that Luthen knows that.
yeah,
If if any reason, because obviously we have Lonnie there to like tell him that, but I think Luthen, he knows that that's the culture, and so he's going to bait that and try to
hmm
accelerate that. And I think, I mean, yeah, it's just so masterful, like
and
how Luthen puts together.
something I just realized. She does that same thing when she confronts him in his shop.
Hmm.
She like she's so obsessed with him. I mean, you've got you've got your target. Just kill him. Just let him die. And she keeps him alive. Just just long enough to where like she's. I mean, at that point, Luthen's essentially like he's dead to rights. They're going to try to torture him and get the plans out of him, like figure out what he did, and then what's the what's the girl's name? His
Clea.
Leah. Thank you. I keep wanting to keep wanting to say Leia for some reason. I keep wanting to like I'm for some reason my brain's like that's Leia, and when it's over like there's no way that's Bill wouldn't put her in that situation. But like Clea goes on a suicide mission essentially pull the plug on them, and then I mean that's when all hell breaks loose.
Hmm.
So that's when the ISB is scrambling, and now we're going to talk about the best, in my opinion, the best scene in the series, the detention center scene. Who who else knows when when Krennic interrogates
Oh yes, 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 yes. Hmm.
the thing that gets me, the one part that gets me is when he puts his finger on the top of her head. Like that was like that was improvised, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty
That
crazy.
was like that's bravo, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah,
Bravo.
like you are so small. I can just, you know, like,
And
oh,
the crazy thing is when it comes to the to the ISB, what like from an outside perspective, you don't like let's say you're just a regular ISB guy, you don't know what the heck's going on, and you see one of the top guys coming down to the basement to take care of something. You're like, what's what's Krennic doing down here?
hmm,
Why is that guy down here? What's going on? And he says as much. He corners her and just says two things: say it out loud, and who else knows?
hmm,
And she knows she is in. She's lucky she got out of there alive because at least they gave Partagast the decency to blow his own brains out. So
right.
it's just that scene was masterful because at that is when the House of Cards start to fall
Right.
because at this point Krennic is panicking. He's freaking out because if she if she let it slip, who else knows? Is Vader going to find out about this? Is the Emperor going to find out about this? Like,
Well, and especially with Lonnie being dead, like everyone knew it. And I need to rewatch those last few episodes. I don't know if they like speculate that Lonnie knew or like if they connected those dots. I
yeah, I need to,
can't remember.
guys. If you're listening and you have better memories than us, please tell us down in the comments. Please remind us.
Yeah, it's I just didn't realize it's time to rewatch it.
Yeah, like
Uh,
there's like that's the thing that like that was like the thing that was hard for me when I was trying to break him down. Like the way that he did Andor, the way that Tony Gilroy did Andor, and I'm saying both seasons, he made it like Game of Thrones was back in its heyday, like the first like 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, where if you aren't paying attention for a half second,
mm,
you're gonna miss something huge. And
right.
like I had to rewatch those episodes like 2 or 3 different times, breaking them down, just because it's so dense. There's so much stuff that happens in these episodes that it's a lot to digest.
Yeah, it is. I never watched Game of Thrones, but I know what you're talking about just from like
Yeah.
passing. Yeah, it's like the dialogue really matters, and like watching it with captions, it's like a totally different viewing experience.
Oh,
Like,
that's the only way we
oh,
watched it. Like I had to have the captions on because you might miss a piece of dialogue that you need to know about.
for
So
sure. Yeah, yeah, man.
so something I want to talk about. Um, and to pivot real quick,
Mhm.
there is one person in the Empire, one chist, if you might, that didn't really put all of his cards on black, if it were. Grand Admiral Thrawn, he was one of the only, he's one of, if not the only person in the entire Empire that said, let's not worry about this big space station that can blow stuff up. Let's not do that. Let's build the biggest fleet we can and iron fist it that way, because this big floating ball in the sky that can blow things up, that's just for show. This is actual power.
Right. And you know what? That kind of, like the ISB culture that we were talking about, that kind of traces that then back to Palpatine, like all the way to Palpatine, because obviously, like,
He
as
wants
he wants the spectacle, you
yeah.
know, he fits into, well, he comes across as like cold and calculated, and obviously like all of the
He
secrecy
is.
planning that he did, like all of that's there, but he's still obsessive and still, yeah, just wants the spectacle as
I mean,
opposed to strategy.
case in point, like when in episode 3, to your point, when he's literally about to announce the reorganization of the Republic into the Empire, what is his talking point there? The Jedi tried to kill me. The Jedi tried to kill me. They tried to overtake the Republic. Yada yada yada. Just playing the people
Right.
against the Jedi, and basically telling them, "Hey, to be able to keep you guys secure, I have to lock everything down. I have to be the one in charge.
Right.
Nobody else."
Yes.
And there was only like 4 people in the audience that said no to that. One of them, and two of the, and no, there's 3 people in the audience that oppose that, and 2 of them get killed.
Right.
One of them dies of sadness. The other one gets blown up.
Yeah. No, you're so right,
And
dude.
that's another thing that I was thinking about. I said this in my breakdown video, and I told this to you too. Alderaan wasn't a random planet that was just chosen because, oh, I've got Princess Leia on board. Yada 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 yada. No, I believe that Tarkin at that point connected the dots and said Bail Organa is the literal head of the rebels. We have to take him out
Like from the
because,
inside. Yeah.
yeah, because remember, Tarkin also pieced it together. No, it wasn't Tarkin. No, it was Tarkin assumed. I'm getting Tarkin and Thrawn mixed up. Tarkin assumed that Anakin and Vader were the same person. So he Tarkin can put it together that Bail Organa is the head of the head of the rebels. So to weaken their position and to get everybody in line, let's blow up Alderaan. And that does work for a minute. I mean, it more so pisses off the rebels, but um, that's something I just wanted to say because I think Tarkin figured out that Bail was the head of the rebels, and that's why Alderaan gets blown up.
Totally. Yeah. And and still like it's like they need control at all costs.
It's the
And
it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like and they do that through the spectacle and the obsession and stuff, like that's like their mode of doing that, where versus Thrawn, who's actually strategic and cold and calculated, like through and through, um, you know, he would have executed that totally differently.
Yeah, it's really, and he, and to Thrawn's point, like to talk about Thrawn real quick, he had Lothal dead to rights. Like he had the Tide Defender project like on, like it was about to get created, and then what's the governor's name? The I can't remember her name. Uh, but she like uh, like Dedra gets a singular focus, gets obsessed with the Ghost Crew,
Yes.
gets obsessed with wanting to take them out, and that's another thing people don't talk about is two big things happen that allow the rebels to win. Lonnie getting Deidre's code clearance, and the Tide Defender project getting blown to pieces with Kanan's sacrifice.
Hmm.
Those two things don't happen, the rebels do not win. Like like if let's say for uh, let's say the Death Star plans get leaked. That still happens, but the the Tide Defender project goes on. I still think that if Thrawn was there in the original trilogy with those ships, I still think the rebels lose. It's
Yeah, it's very
just because
possible.
but just because those ships were so what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Advanced.
Impactful. Yeah, advanced. Yeah, thank you. That I mean the rebels didn't have a didn't the only reason that they took them out was because they went through a solar storm. And
Right.
I think even if they if the Empire still had those ships, but but the but the plans get leaked, I still think they beat them. But the only way that the rebels win is if those two things happen. It's the
Right.
only way, and it's just it's just crazy to think about. It's just really crazy to think about.
It really is. Like, yeah, it really is, dude. Like, these are crucial moments that you don't. Yeah, it's like you don't realize in the moment how crucial they are. But yeah, it's
Because
pretty wild.
like because I remember Grayson. This was months ago. He posted something, and I posted a comment. I said, "This is what we call a chain. This is a chain reaction moment.
Hmm.
If Kanan doesn't make the sacrifice, then they don't get into the world between worlds. They don't save Ahsoka. I mean, there's so many things that happen from Kanan's sacrifice that impacts what happens in the original trilogy, and it if you compound that with what Lonnie did to get the Death Star plans, those two things don't happen. The rebels get killed, and it's not even it's not close. I think
Yeah,
it would have been it would have made the Gorman massacre look like child's play. And
yeah,
that's another thing we haven't talked about is the Gorman massacre.
yeah.
That was insane.
It was.
I remember watching it, and it was when they started chanting and singing. I'm thinking to myself, like I remember watching thinking to myself, something's about to like I could like you can feel the tension building when the stormtroopers close in. They close They close the square in, and the funny thing is, it starts with friendly fire.
Hmm.
It starts with friendly fire. The the Empire shoots one of their guys, making them think, oh, the Gormans are shooting at us, and then it's just all hell
Yeah.
breaks loose.
Yeah. I mean, they went in like they already knew what they wanted, so they had their end goal, and then they worked backwards to get to their end goal. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's classic authoritarian like history thing there. Like Tony Gilroy, he knows his history. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good. Yeah.
And the one scene that I think that gets looked over a lot is uh this is another one we talked about. Cyril finding everything out
Hmm.
at that exact time because I remember when my wife and I were watching it, like watching the episodes, like and him getting in deep with the Gorman rebels and all that stuff. I'm thinking to myself, once he finds out what he's actually doing, he's gonna turn to the rebels. Like I said that I was like once Dedra tells him what he's actually doing,
Right.
this is either gonna break him or he's gonna turn into a or he's gonna turn to the rebels, and it just broke him because he confronts Dedra in his office, and for a solid like 45 seconds there, I thought when he's choking her, I'm thinking to myself, he's about to kill her.
Yeah.
He's about to kill her, and he didn't do it, but I thought he because what what did I say to you? I said that yeah that Cyril and Dedra, the reason that they worked, they were an odd couple, but it worked. Was on one hand, you've got Cyril who thinks the Empire is literally holistically good, like
Hmm.
he believes that they are doing that he is doing the correct thing, that the Empire as a whole is actually doing the correct thing, and Dedra knows exactly what the hell they're doing and knows that the Empire is an evil, and she uses Cyril's naivety against him. And then, well, we see him wandering around in the middle of chaos. Then he finally sees Andor, sees the guy that he's been obsessing about for what 3 4 years at this point, maybe longer.
Right. It's like, oh, it's your fault. Yeah.
And then his final moment, he's got him dead to rights. He's got Andor dead to rights, and Andor just looks at him and says, "Who are you?" And then dead.
Yeah, which honestly was such a good decision. Like at first I was like, oh wait, no, what? Like we almost had a redemption arc here, but I thought it was such a good decision because it showed it showed us that like it can be too late. Like there is a
Mm-hmm.
point where it can be too late, and like that was such a I don't know, just like a heavy um yeah, just a heavy lesson, I guess, for them
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to throw in there. Yeah,
and it's just like that's the thing that I noticed with Cyril's character. He's a tragic character because
yeah, for sure.
like I've said, he literally thought he was doing the correct thing. Like in his heart, he thought the Empire was truly holistically good. And then for Dedra to drop all that on him, he's broken. Like the final moments of his life, he's he's literally wandering around a battlefield, broken,
Hmm.
until he sees the one thing he's been fixating on, and that one thing that he's been fixating on doesn't even remember him. So
Yeah, so
it's
good.
just it's I Andor is a chef's kiss. It's I need to watch season one and season two all together because I think watching them all in one sitting will make it a little bit easier. Because what I did is I just rewatched like a season one recap, like it was like a 15-minute video,
Mm,
and I realized halfway through the season, I'm just like, I need to rewatch everything because I don't remember half of the stuff that happened in season one.
right.
But yeah, man, I just it's just crazy with uh with what Tony Gilroy did to be able to take a character that we spent a good amount of time with in Rogue One, and really as a if you really think about it as a broad as a broad stance, almost every key character in Rogue One, Mon Mothma, Cassian, God, what's Forrest Whitaker's character. Why am I blanking on his name
Oh,
right now?
Saw.
Saw Gerrera. Why did I forget Saw Gerrera's name for a minute? And in Andor, specifically season two, we see all three of those characters we spent a lot of time with them. The one thing that makes sense to me, we see why Saul has a breathing mask. Like he was
Yeah,
inhaling jet fumes, man. He was literally inhaling jet
it's
fumes.
so good. That's so funny.
Like that's the whole reason he's got a breathing apparatus. He was inhaling jet fumes, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Saw.
Yeah, I just like Tony Gilroy. We this shouldn't have been two seasons. I would have liked to have this have been his original vision of like 5 seasons or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean they packed it all in there, dude. Like I just it's so cool. Like there's so many interviews out now. I have a ton saved that I have to like go back and rewatch, but one that really stuck out to me was how Tony was talking about how he's like all his life he's been like fascinated with and has studied um, historical events surrounding the
Mm-hmm.
rise of tyranny and revolution and fascism and like all of these historical things and he's like, oh, but I've never been able to like use those things that I've been so fascinated by all of my life until this.
Andor. Yeah.
And so he was like, this was my one chance to like fit it all in, like every aspect of it, every angle of it. Um, and they did, like they packed every angle of it in there. Like
Hmm.
we got the propaganda, like the media side of it in season two. Like that was so cool
Yeah, that was
to
yeah.
watch. Like just yeah, Tony Gilroy,
Yeah,
man.
that's the thing. And like the thing that gets me is like I when we were spending so much time on Gorman, like it hit me in the first episode. I'm just like, we're watching the this is the French Rebellion
Hmm.
of Nazi occupied Nazi occupied Paris. That's what this is. That's what we're watching. Because I mean, they weren't so tongue in cheek about it. They essentially the Gorman language is essentially like a
Hmm.
amalgamation of like French, Slavic, Germanic, like it's those three languages like pulled together or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
forget the details, but yeah, that like the architecture,
yeah,
um, yeah, really cool.
and
And
it,
French actors, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So cool, man.
Which I mean, again, just hammers it home that we're watching. I mean, we're watching World War II in space. Like that's what it was. And the
Yeah,
thing that that I really enjoyed is Andor made the Empire made them a threat, because in most if not all Star Wars mediums that we've seen outside of probably Rebels, when Thrawn comes in, the Empire, specifically the stormtroopers, are just bumbling, fumbling idiots.
right.
And in this show, they're terrifying. Like when they're closing in on the Gorman Square, that's I don't have words for it. I mean, it's just you've got the Nazi SS just closing in on the square, and you have nowhere to go.
Yeah,
So it's just the parallels that he did. I really, really enjoyed it, because
totally.
World War II has always fascinated me. It's always been my favorite war to study, and he did an amazing job. I mean, that's really all I can say is he did a great job telling the story that he wanted to tell. And it's, I mean, we said it at the start. This is the best Star Wars that we've gotten from Disney, and I can speak for everybody else. We want more of it. Give us more of this, and give us more of this, and Greenlight Acolyte season 2 will be good.
Dude, for real. Like save Acolyte season 2. I'm actually really stoked for Ahsoka season 2. I think I just want to see what they do with Thrawn now that they're back. Like they're on Dathomir, and I kind of want to see how Thrawn sets up what then I think becomes the rest of what we see in the sequels. Like
Well, the thing that I want to see, and there's been a couple of fun little videos going around of Thrawn's reaction. You remember how Thrawn reacted to Ahsoka being the apprentice of
mhm,
Anakin?
right.
Ashton, buddy, come here, come here, come here. What do you think's gonna happen when he finds out that Luke is his son?
I know.
He is gonna lose it.
Yeah,
He's not gonna know what to do.
it's gonna be his downfall.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he's gonna be like, that's wait, Skywalker. Ain't ain't no way. No. No. Mm-mm. He didn't have a kid. No. Mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. I
yeah,
think he's
does
and
not compute.
if the if the rumors of what they're doing with Ahsoka and Anakin in season 2 are to be believed, if we are getting if we're getting her, you know who I'm talking about.
hmm
If we get the mother,
hmm Yeah, dude.
that's I'm gonna. If we get Abeloth, I'm going. I don't know how they're gonna beat her, cause I really don't, because in Legends, Luke doesn't beat her. He just throws her into a black hole for 1,000 years. That's how he beats him.
I
So
know.
I don't know what they're gonna do there, but yeah, man. I think that's all I've got. So
Yeah, dude.
we got to do this again, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been too long. It's glad to be back on, and yeah, it's always a blast to talk Star Wars.
Always, man. And because yeah, I was thinking like I think the last time we actually talked when me and my wife were in Orlando,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
and you got you and your wife came and met us at Springs. But yeah, man, we need to do this again. I need to figure out. I need to figure out what I'm going to be shooting and see if I can't get you on again because it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. You're one of my favorite people, and I just like talking Star Wars, bro. So
Yeah, dude. Yeah, likewise. And looking forward to the next What If. I know you have down the
I
pipeline.
need to yeah
So,
I need to talk to a couple people about that and see where we are because it's been busy and I truthfully that's been on the back burner. So I
hey,
need to
sure.
I need to I need to start working. I need to start working on it because I've got a couple ideas for who who can play what roles. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome. Yeah,
So
awesome.
until next time, ladies and gentlemen, may the force be with you.